Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been a while actually. We have a great AMA to discuss with the guys. We've got Brick and Dow, and just to let you all know, if you've not met me before, I'm Fifi and I'm a speaker in the space, and I'm the speaker for Midnight Calls, but I can't take the credit for this amazing channel. So hopefully I'll be doing a good job for Midnight. I haven't been fired yet, so I think everything's going all right. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome some UK intellectual, shall we call it? Because this project looks like it's going to be a very good. And so, who is going to be speaking? Could you introduce yourself, guys, and let us know a bit about your crypto journey prior to creating this project?
Hi, Fifi. My name's Mark. Thanks for having us tonight. Thank you so much for
Okay.
hosting tonight for us. Sorry, yeah, I can just introduce
I think
myself.
I just missed it there. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming. And
You're
yeah, over to you.
more than welcome, Fifi. More than welcome. No, thank you for having us once again.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick introduction for those who don't know me. My name is Mark. I'm the CEO and founder of Bricken. And my background is building and property maintenance, which I've done over the last 20 years. Worked on huge projects across the course of the career. Some people may know, some people may not know. Did a lot with Liverpool One, built more or less the whole of Liverpool for the capital of culture in 2008. We built the flagship Debenhams, the flagship John Lewis. Myself and the team personally that I've had with me for a number of years now. I've worked on a number of projects up and down the country, from power stations, substations, bus stations, petrol stations, houses, even kennels. We've done everything. I've personally, when I started my career, within 2 years, I actually ran the company that I started for. Not long after that, the man retired and I opened up my own company. And for the last 15 years, I've been self-employed with my own building companies. I have a small portfolio that I look after and run myself, that the team manages as well. And over the last 5 to 10 years, we have mainly been working with local authorities, local housing councils, national house builders, and we've done a lot, as I say, domestic, for local charities as well in the Liverpool area. That's just a small introduction to my background. I'm sure, obviously, anyone who's got any questions or whatever can pick my brain later on if they need to.
I've got so many questions that have got nothing to do with today's AMA, and I feel like
No,
we're
that's
going to be getting
fine.
some. I
No,
feel
that's
like we're going to
fine.
get
That's
some life
fine.
advice today, guys. So if anyone's wanting to make some life decisions, I think you need to get a notepad in the background. It took me everything inside me not to interrupt you when you said Debenhams and all the stores, but guys, we're talking the likes of Macy's and all sorts, that sort of well-known store in our areas. And yeah, I've got lots of questions. This is completely off the subject, but yesterday there was a competition for a £3 million house in Islington,
Right.
that people were going in for. I didn't do it because I thought, just they're probably fixed or whatever, or maybe it wasn't. But some of the architecture in the UK is really beautiful. So yeah, I've got lots of questions after. But amazing, nice to meet you. And lastly, I just wanted to comment on the fact that in this particular space, of course, we've got new people, we've got a lot of people that are very young starting their career, but it's also quite nice to know that you've got a previous background, and you've got sort of brick and mortar experience as an opposed to not knowing anything about you. So that's amazing. And
Well,
what about the rest of the team?
sorry.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead. So sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, with people starting out in their career like the way I did, I've personally, with the team, over, I'd say, certainly the last 10 years, we've taken on, including the two that we have now, that would be 17. So 15 lads, 13 lads, 2 girls we've taken on, and we've brought through, actually in competition with some, work and tenders for work with one or two that I brought through the ranks, and they're all in good spirits. Yeah, we still link up. Obviously, we see each other out in the field on a regular basis on other sites, on other projects, and it's really encouraging. And obviously, I know that I started them off in the right way for them to still be and still, I'm not sure many people enjoy going to work, but still enjoy it. And that much so that they actually went on to create their own business, having a look at my business model and what I did. And then I helped them produce and buy their vans and go on and start to do maintenance work and got them some contracts. And as I say, now they're building up, and some of them are in competition locally with myself, which I'm extremely proud of. Extremely proud of. And yeah, we have another two. Come September next year, they will be fully qualified bricklayers now. Two young Welsh lads who are really good. They're only 17, really nice young lads, good attitude, and hopefully they stay on in the industry. Really got a really good attitude, and yeah, it's good to see young lads come through, because it's very rare that they actually do. But I already pay a subsidy to take on apprentices, whether I take them on or not. So it's extremely beneficial for me to do that. And it's good to pass on the knowledge, because sometimes it's a bit of a dying trade sometimes.
Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry to the community, because I get excited
No.
when I've got fellow. No, I'm apologising for getting excited about fellow English people, but I've been watching a lot of politics and LBC, and it's quite refreshing to hear such encouraging and positive things about the working trade. With everything that's going on, and I think that the way that you've got the best student, or you've done well with your students, is if they become your competition. So I think that alone is an achievement. So I think we're discussing your retirement plan then, with this next chapter of your life, because it sounds like you've accomplished a lot and you are sharing onward. And what better than to incorporate the blockchain and crypto into this whole line of thinking. So, I mean, how did you actually come up? How did you come up with the concept, and who is it that you're working with? What does everyone do in each part of the project?
Well, Fifi, to be honest, it's Tom really needs to take the credit for that. He's the expert in that department. To be fair, I don't know whether can Tom introduce himself quickly, but he's really the expert, Fifi, in that department.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Sorry, yeah. So I'm Thomas Parsons, co-founder and head of DAO at Bricken. Obviously, Mark's given a great intro to his background and introduction to himself, and he's sort of in charge of the construction side of things over at Bricken. But I'm the one that's sort of responsible for the blockchain side of things. I helped to infuse the DAO ecosystem and the blockchain into the idea that he had. He came to me with the idea, and we sort of had a similar vision. And I was like, this is how blockchain can help you achieve what you're aiming to achieve. I've been involved in the blockchain industry since about 2015, where I started off as an investor. I come from a project management background, and I fell in love with the industry. So I just started helping out on projects with community development, marketing, fundraising, just anything a project may need to sort of get moving at the time. I started off just volunteering and helping out where I could, just to build up a network, build up some experience. But 2 years later, in 2017, I was able to go full time in crypto. From here, I was sort of having more cemented roles in projects, taking on paid work in terms of marketing, community development, and from there, I really started building up a network of industry professionals and creatives and people within the blockchain space. Back in about 2020, towards the end of 2020, I actually started up my own blockchain business consultancy. So basically, it's called Block Consultancy, and what we aim to do, we became a one-stop shop for projects going from idea phase through to launch, to become more of an established project. So a project will come to us. We can start off giving them consultancy services, advisory services, and then any services they may need from there, we'd be able to provide it for them, be it node solutions, developer solutions, exchange listings, launch pads, through the network that I had created, I'd be able to source that for them and put them in the front of the right people in the right places to help develop their project and take them through from idea to launch. And since 2020, with Blocksultancy, we've actually taken over 20 projects to launch. So it's been a great experience. And obviously now, when I got asked to come on as co-founder for this project, I jumped at the opportunity because I see a lot of projects being in the industry that I'm in, but this is one which I've seen like fusing blockchain and real estate. I've seen it attempted multiple times where people try to tokenize real estate or fractionalize real estate, but a lot of them haven't really been as successful as they should be. This is due to legalities and ownership problems. So when Mark sort of came to me with the idea of saying, this is what I want to do, I want to be able to distribute the rewards out to the to the community, that was where I sort of said that it's a DAO ecosystem and a yield farming system would be the perfect thing to infuse into that, and a perfect way to utilize the blockchain technology, because then it gives governance to the token holder as well. You're getting power over your investment. You can sort of decide where it goes, whereas you don't really get that in any other projects you see at the moment.
Yeah, Fifi, just to touch on what Tom was actually saying there is, it's a collective effort. I couldn't do it on my own, and I'm sure Tom couldn't do it on his own. And that's why Tom, Liam, Michael, and myself were all kind of bringing our strengths to it. I don't know as much as Tom knows about the blockchain, and Tom doesn't know much about, if I showed him a field and said, build us a 7-story apartment block, I'm sure he wouldn't know how to do that. So together, collectively, working on our strengths is exactly the right basis, is what we need for the project, obviously, to kick off with.
Hi, Fifi. It's Michael here.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah, just thought I'd come in and introduce myself. So, my name's Michael. I work very closely with Mark. Mark's actually my best friend. I've known him since school. We've grown up together, so we've been working together for many years on many different types of projects, and we've also had some great holidays as well, as you can imagine. But Mark had the idea of wanting to bring revenue to the blockchain via property. I'd had a similar idea myself while staying in an Airbnb. We were paying a huge amount for an Airbnb, and I was thinking, there's got to be a way of bringing this to the blockchain and returning this back to investors. Liam, who's our other partner, had a similar idea and a dream about bringing real estate to the blockchain. So I'm a mutual friend of all of these, all of the partners. I've known them all for many years, Mark, Liam, and Tom. So it was sort of a collective effort that I wanted to bring everybody together and everybody's strengths and skills. Mark's obviously very well respected in the construction industry, incredibly well, especially here in the northwest of England. He's got a great track record. Tom has worked with very successful blockchain products from idea phase right the way up to completion, and again has got a very good, strong track record in that place. And he's an actually extremely hard-working guy. Tom puts a lot of effort into the company, and he's a real credit to the team. And we've also got Liam as well. Liam's unfortunately not well tonight, so can't be on this call. But some of the people who might be listening may have heard him on other AMAs. Liam has got very strong background in terms of trading, crypto, blockchain. He's a bit of a whiz in that way. Me, I don't have a huge amount of blockchain experience. Like I said, I focus on the construction side. But Mark, I'm a big believer in crypto. I've always been interested in it. I always wanted to launch my own project, and it's been quite a steep learning curve for me in terms of the past year or so of getting to grips with things. But I've learned a lot in a very short space of time. And this project for me, it's very unique. There's nothing like it on the market. And the biggest thing about this project, which is why I fully believe that it will be a huge success, is the trust within the team that we have and the relationships that we have outside of work. We're all good friends. We all work very closely together. We all get along really well, and we've all been involved in successful projects before. So yeah, hopefully that sheds a bit of light on who I am.
It absolutely does. And I want to say that the air of professionalism and the fact that how you speak about each other, and also how you have allocated and you have responsibility in the fields that you know best, but also have an interest throughout the project and the team sounds amazing. So I think when investors are actually looking for a project to invest in, we all look at different things, but I definitely look at the team, because I've seen some incredible concepts, amazing ideas, and I've done AMAs for a very long time, well, a very long crypto time, and you know which teams have the ability to put their idea across, and it's very important. So straight off the bat, I know who's doing what, and it's good to know that you've seen each other's faces in real life. That puts my mind at ease a little bit as well. So I mean, it's good to know that you guys have got a lot of experience in and outside of the space. So what stage are you actually in the project? So I understand there's been a seed sale. Has that completed, or are you still having that? And if so, what have you managed to raise? What are you raising for that?
Yeah, so we've actually made some good progress. So we've raised about 350k in our ICO currently. We launched it back just of like end of September. I mean, it was very organic to start with. We were reaching out to our own networks, friends, family, things like that. We didn't really start doing a big marketing push until 2023 in the new year. So a lot of that money that we've already raised is very organically raised. It's quite promising, really. We've had about 200k into the seed sale, and then the rest is in the private sale. The seed sale is still open. The hard cap for the seed sale is 750k. So we've still got some seed allocation remaining. We're in private sale round currently. Behind the scenes, there's some great progression. There's some great developments. We're currently getting the DAO structured by a top legal firm in the UK called Forsters. They've got an office based in Mayfair. They actually won the best legal firm in real estate in 2021, I believe it was. And we've got two guys from there, James Brockhurst and Rory Carter, who are structuring the DAO. They're DAO specialists. James Brockhurst actually written a book on the structuring of DAOs. So they're structuring us as either a Cayman Islands trust or a Jersey Purpose trust. They're going through the process at the moment of getting that set up. That's just so that Bricken can hold the assets safely and all of our investors are fully protected. Obviously, because there are some regulations in terms of DAOs in the UK, especially DAOs aren't recognised as legal entities. This is why we need to set it up as an offshore trust, and then it can hold the assets. All the investors are protected, and that's where then the value is in Bricken, because it holds the trust, and that's what's distributed out to the token holders. We've also got the smart contracts token audit happening now. That's being audited by Hacken, Decubate, they provide development solutions. They are responsible for our smart contracts and our DAO platform. We've also got our DAO platform in construction. This will be the hub for the token and NFT holders. This is where they'll come to stake their tokens, claim their rewards, receive their vested tokens. We'll also have a social side of things, so that's where the community can talk with each other. You'll be able to create proposals on the properties. You'll be able to vote on the proposals, decide what direction the company moves in. So this is something which is actually quite revolutionary. I haven't seen it done before in a DAO. You see a lot of DAOs who have their hub, have their area where their community is kept, but what we're building is very different. It's quite special. We're utilizing Chainlink's technology, Chainlink solutions within there for their automation, so that you're getting your rewards at the same time every month. With this, we've partnered up with them, so we'll be also doing some co-marketing with them once it's on the mainnet. We aim to have it on the mainnet a month before launch. We launch in May. Michael's actually been building something in the background recently. He's been having some very good calls. Would you like to maybe touch on that a little bit more, Nikki?
Yeah, sure. So this was something that came up recently for me, because in terms of the roadmap of the company, the sort of end game for us was to build our own developments and build our own houses, because Mark at the moment is building houses for other companies. So we we want them obviously to build them for Bricken. But for me, I just thought that we should sort of fast track that strategy. So that's what we're trying to implement at the moment. We're trying to bring that forward, rather than, we were looking at the roadmap of within 5 years' time having a property portfolio of 50 million, and then being able to go and develop our own houses. I just thought that, in the meantime, if Mark's going to be working on other projects for other contractors, because Mark works with some of the biggest developers in the UK, people like Taylor Wimpey, Kia, Bellaway, for example, Linden Homes. If he's going to be building houses for these guys in the meantime, alongside working for Bricken as well, because obviously Mark's got contracts in place already, we should just be building our own houses anyway. So I'm looking to try and fast track that. So at the moment we're approaching some investors, some sophisticated investors, some high net worth individuals, in terms of helping us fast track this project in terms of funding. And what that will allow us to do is that will allow us to go and build and develop our own homes this year. That would be the sort of speed that we'll be looking to do it. And that would mean that we are, we look at a sort of size of around about 10 houses to start off with. So it's only a small amounts of new build properties, but it would really mean that we would fast track the roadmap of the company, the strategy, and it would bring in significant revenues this year. So that's the plan. That's what we're trying to do right now. We've got one of the most respected land sources in the northwest of England who's helping us, who's also going to be helping us in terms of attracting investors. And he's right now searching for suitable land for us in the Liverpool area, where we can build something between 10 to 12 properties this year. And we're actively sourcing the investment from that, from, as I said, some high net worth individuals, and potentially some venture capitalists and things like that.
I'm just I'm trying to think of the word, but I'm really, really impressed. Well, first of all, congratulations for how far you've got, rather, with the raising of funds. And I think it's amazing how it's all been quite organic, and that it's not been like an aggressive marketing so far. So it's good to know that you're already this far. And while you were speaking, I was thinking much about the fact that there's probably going to be a lot of introductions into the crypto space from people that don't necessarily understand how it works, or they're not necessarily from here, and they kind of can come from your industry, or on the outside of world, and this is the way to come in. And I was thinking about the yield that I know it's just an example, but that you would offer. And I think what's amazing is that if you look at the amount of money that you're able to earn from banks and other things like that, it's unheard of if you go to someone who's got the normal Barclays rates to come here and to see what potential that they can get. And it's also interesting about how difficult it is for people to get into property, or to be able to even envision being in the financial situation to do so. So yeah, congratulations for that part. And so
Sorry, can I just stop you there, Fifi? Because that's a
Yeah.
great point now, what you just mentioned there.
No
Because that
shade to
was
Barclays, by the way, but when they're like, you've got 1.25% every 4 years, and it's like, oh great,
yeah,
but yeah, over to you.
no, the bank rates have been derisory in the UK for many, many, many years. But what you just mentioned there was a really key point, and not everybody can afford to get the returns from property, because it's such a huge outlay. Not everybody can afford to have their own property portfolio, and that was why we wanted to bring this project onto the blockchain, because we wanted to give people the opportunity to own a slice of a property portfolio from as little investment to as much investment as they like, but still see very strong returns from that. I'm not too sure if you're aware of what a REIT is. Have you come across that before, Fifi? A REIT?
I've not, no.
Okay, so it's basically it's a real estate investment trust fund. They're popular in America, and they're also popular here in the UK. REITs are good, and they're very solid, and they give a much better return than you would just keeping your money in a bank or in a high interest product or something like that. The problem with the REIT is that they're quite old fashioned in the way that they work. They come with many different types of clauses. It's basically a fund, a property fund. Everybody puts their money in. The institution will then go and acquire properties, rent them out. They may sell them and make a profit. All the money goes back into the fund, and then the profits get distributed to the investors at the end of the year. But like I said, they come with different sort of stipulations, rules, and regulations. Also, as well, they come with penalty clauses for early liquidations and things like that. So they're quite old-fashioned in the way that they work, and you can't actually see what's in a REIT. You just have to believe what the institution is telling you, or whoever the fund manager is that's running that fund. With what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring a REIT onto the blockchain using full transparency. So you'll be able to see every single property that we've got. You'll be able to see every single penny that's coming into the company in a fully transparent way via the DAO platform. You'll be able to vote on many different projects within the company. You know, if you want to put proposals together via the Goldman NFT program that we've got, you'll be able to do that, and you'll be able to actively you know, manage the REIT as you could if you were, you know, involved in the fund itself. So yeah, for us, the way of the objective of bringing the REIT to the 21st century via the blockchain was a key thing. And they're great investment vehicles, and we just wanted to make property available for everybody.
I've tried so hard to not make this a bias AMA, but I can't express how much, especially the climate here in the UK, that owning any brick on a property is a difficult reality. Like I'm 34, and it feels like, you know, it's another 30 years, and I'm in crypto before you can even get your dream house. Hopefully it's not that way. Hopefully we're in the ball, but you know, it does feel that this whole category is not even to be considered, especially when you're in the major cities like London as well. So I think there's so much opportunity here. And again, I know I've already mentioned it, but I think we in the blockchain community really want people with you know, who have good intentions, who have come from outside of the cryptocurrency environment, and want and actually to bring some good money into the I guess into the industry, because this is like a very new project, I guess, but it's you guys are very professional. It seems like you've thought about everything from a legal aspect. So we don't want any situations like FTX. And, you know, it's good to know that you're taking the time to actually have everything in order before it coming out in May. So I think that's really cool. And I think you'll have a lot of people who are not from the crypto I don't know what we call this. I wouldn't say necessarily industry, but not investors of crypto actually coming across and being very interested in joining a project like this. So on behalf of the crypto community, after dealing with a lot of some of the dodgy projects, it's nice to hear that we'll be getting new investors and also a good project coming in as well. And talking of the dodgy projects that we've had in the space, we have a climate, or we've got a lot of people who are very cautious, who have been stung by projects. Some of us, it's our first couple of years in the crypto space. So what measures do you have in place, or do you intend to put in place to put our minds at ease that, you know, we can put half our life savings in here and join this DAO and reap the rewards of this. Are you guys auditing yourselves? Sorry, you're auditing the project itself and KYC'd and everything. I know you said you've got an audit for the contract.
Yeah, good question. Obviously, I'll start off with the fact that the whole team is doxed. Obviously, you can head over to our website and see the team and their faces, links to our LinkedIn channels. So you know who we are, what our profession is, where we come from. And yes, we will be having all of our smart contracts audited. So that there's going to be a total of about 4 or 5 smart contracts that we have created in total. All of them will be able to communicate to each other to make the DAO run smoothly. Our token contract, which is the first one being created, is in audit at the moment. Hacken are currently auditing it. You can search on Google the best auditing companies, and I can guarantee that probably 9 out of 10 times Hacken will be at the top of that. Hacken and Certic are obviously, in my opinion, the 2 best in the space. We'll also have smart contracts created for our vesting platform, our staking platform, which are all going to be in one platform together called the Vault. The Vault is going to be on the DAO platform as the hub of the token and NFTs, where you can go to stake them through Yield Farm, and also to collect your rewards from the real world assets. You were touching a little bit earlier on sort of people coming into the space, and personally my thesis for companies that I usually work with is, are they doing something different? How are they utilizing the blockchain technology, and are they working towards mass adoption? Obviously, us bringing real estate in with blockchain technology, we're utilizing the investment model, which is real estate, which has been the safest investment for the past century, if not more, and we're merging it with a new emerging investment model, which is cryptocurrency, which is probably the fastest growing investment model that anyone's ever seen. So bringing those 2 together, like you say, is going to bring a lot of people over to our space, people that are interested in both of these investment models. Someone probably that invests in real estate but and wants to move into blockchain but doesn't know how to do it. This is going to be a safe zone for them, because they know that they're still, although we're a DeFi project, we're not going to be reflected by the price of the token or the state of the crypto market. If the price of the token goes down in a bear market, you're still going to be generating the same yield from brick and mortar, from real world assets. So you know that your investment is safe with us. You know that even if the top price of the token goes down, you're still going to be generating the same amount of yield that you would be from the real world assets, from the property portfolio, because it's not done off the price of the token, it's done off the percentage of the token that you have staked and the amount of tokens that are staked at a time. So yeah.
Also as well, Fifi, that's the reason why we went to the top legal firm in the UK to structure the DAO and come up with the offshore trust structure that we're putting into place, because we got many different offers from many different legal firms, and you know, it's cost a lot of money for us to engage with the top crypto legal firm in the UK, but we wanted that because we wanted the best protection for our investors, and also as well the best protection for ourselves, as you know, not only as individuals but also as a company. The key to this project and the sort of pillars and motives that we wanted to bring as part of the forefront of it are trust, transparency, reliability, and profit. Certainly on the transparency side of things, you know, we want to make everything completely open and available to everybody. And from a legal perspective and protection perspective, you were talking about, you know, people being stung. You know, that would be you know, a horrendous thing to happen to anybody in this space. And sorry if you said it's happened to yourself, it's happened to other people. That's the reason why we've tried to put into place the best protection that we possibly can, by bringing in the top legal firm in the UK, James Brockenhurst and Rory Carter, and for those guys as well to engage with us was a big plus, because they wouldn't take the work on if they didn't think that they could do it, if they didn't think they could structure it. Also, as well, with the trust element, for us to have a separate trust involved with this company, who is basically going to be responsible for the assets that we hold, should give investors total confidence about this project. We've got a separate third party and a regulated legal body that is going to be in charge of the assets that this company holds, and effectively we're having the DAO structured by the top legal firm within the UK. So people's minds should be at rest, that we are a safe company to invest in. We are looking to do the right things with people's money, and we want this project to be a success. That the motives of this, we're not here for greed. We're not here to pump and dump. Of course, we want the project to be a success. Of course, we do. But we want to do it in a long-lasting way. But if you're looking for a short-term investment, where there are pump and dumps, we're not the guys for you. We're a long-term yielding investment that will be generating revenue, solid revenues, distributed back to investors via our asset property ecosystem. So yeah, hopefully that sort of answers your question on the protection side of things.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
Sorry, and you do also touched on KYC. We do actually have a KYC process on our ICO platform on our website as well, just so that it protects us from any future digging about. Basically, if obviously there's some countries where we're not allowed to accept investment from, so that protects us in that sense. If we were ever to be investigated by the FCA or the SEC, we'll be safe in them as well. So this is how long term we're looking. We're looking at a 10+ year further down the line when we are global and we're world renowned, and if the SEC ever did audit our company or come dig in, we're covered in all aspects.
Yeah, I can see that a lot of thought has been put into the longevity. And again, just to give an insight, I won't go into detail about the thousands of dollars that people get scammed with in this space. In my experience, a lot of people actually came into crypto from the SafeMoon era. I think you can kind of break it down into eras. And Tom, I know you said 2020, was it, that you came in?
2015 I've been involved, and I started consultancy in 2020.
I was absolutely hating on you then, because I know what Bitcoin prices were, that lovely sell you had over there. But yeah, I mean, we are the SafeMoon people, and what's happened in our journey, just to give you insight, is, I mean, I'm sure you know already, but you come in with SafeMoon and you think everything's 10,000x, and you get used to it, and it was actually probably the worst time to learn, because everything was on the up. And so then you spent the rest of the time chasing your losses, and actually a lot of people, including myself, have lost more money than should ever be possible. And I think, with that being said, that you're actually coming in at a perfect time, because what's happened to an investor like myself is that I've now matured, and my portfolio will not be full of dog coins this time. I've had enough. It's going to be, I'll have a nice section, 20% of the portfolio, because I, do need a bit of dopamine. But we have matured, and there is a massive era. It's almost like, saying the 70s or the 60s. That's what SafeMoon time feels like. It's like we've all come in, we've made our mistakes, and we now read white papers. We want to invest in businesses, and the language that you guys are talking is the language that we want to hear. Less chihuahuas, even though I do love a little meme from time to time, don't get me wrong, and more of the legalities, the KYC, the audits, the 10-year plan, and a sustainable yield. That's the kind of language that I'd like to take up most of my portfolio personally. So you did touch on it actually, but talking of sustainability, I mean, for somebody who's come from maybe meme projects, or maybe projects that haven't had such a long forecast, what ways will you be able to keep this a sustainable model? As in, let me ask in the way that, what confidence can an investor have that this model is going to be sustainable? And again, I know you've touched on it, but if you could just go back there.
Yeah, look, we've all come into this space because obviously you see your name up in lights, you see all these big returns, you think it's a great way to make money, and really we are all degens at heart. Like I've invested in my meme coins, I've been rugged, and it is all part of the learning process. But from what I've learned from being in this space, I've seen the ups and the downs. I've been through 2 cycles now. This will be my third bull run, couple with the one coming up. And yes, it is difficult at times, and there are people who everyone's had a different experience in this space. But one thing I've learned is you do have to sort of diversify your portfolio. Yes, you can still have these degen calls where you just ape in on a meme coin, but you need the security underlying that portfolio where you know that you're generating constant revenue, and this is what we're offering to you. We're basically, we've worked out, and our aim is to have $5 million property portfolio when we launch. If you get in a private sale, you will be earning a 6% APY. Every 6 months, we'll be able to refinance our properties, meaning we'll be able to pull out $5 million worth of capital and reinvest it back into the properties, meaning we'll go from every 6 months, we'll go from 5 million to 10 million to 15 million to 20 million. And within 5 years, we aim to be at a 50 million property portfolio, and we feel like this is very doable. That we've set 50 million as our target so that we can overachieve. Once we do reach that 50 million property portfolio, the APY that you will be receiving on your original investment, if you got in a private sale, will be roughly around 60% APY. So this is what we're sort of offering you. If you want to have this successful trading strategy, you need these sort of passive income yield farming revenue generating coins and investments within your portfolio to be able to have that extra 10% that you can go out and spend on the degens to get that rush, to be able to sort of like gamble, if you like, because that's what a lot of people do in this space. They gamble. They've come here for the quick returns. They've come here for the quick money. But if you actually want to be a professional investor and be able to go into crypto full time, you need to really look at these projects which are have true utility. They're not just a meme coin. They have utility. They're utilizing the blockchain technology underlying in their business model, and that's sort of where we're going to be getting our longevity from as well, because we're not just here for a pump and dump. We've got vesting schedules involved. We've got our tokenomics created by professionals. The connections that I have and that I'm bringing to the project, they're not just going to be any connections. They're some of the biggest in the space. We're in talk. We've already been accepted to be listed on Gate.io when we launch. We're in talks with Huobi and OKX. These are three of the biggest exchanges in the space, and they're going to be the first exchanges that are going to list us. We've got a partnership with Chainlink. These have the third largest community in the space after Bitcoin and Ethereum. Chainlink are probably the third most well-known project. And they're going to be co-marketing with us. We've got partnerships with some up-and-coming blockchains. We've got launch pads agreed. So this is what is quite exciting about the project: the fact that it's got this underlying blockchain technology and the DAO platform as well, where it hasn't been attempted before. It hasn't been done before. When I was on the call with the developers describing what we wanted to utilize, they said this is a very complex DAO structure, but it's great. Like if we achieve it and if we pull off what we're setting out to do, it's going to be huge, and I have every confidence that we are going to achieve it.
I have every confidence that you're going to achieve it, and I like the you've put a goal in your minds, and the fact that you aim to overachieve. Well, you're kind of giving yourself a figure, and you feel confident that you can do above that, and I really do, and I think that you guys have really thought this through. I'm sure you've got very good communication on during your brainstorming conversations, and it definitely sounds like somebody didn't think of this in the pub the night before. And trust me, I've lost money in projects that are just like that. So, I mean, yeah, you guys, it sounds like I said, for those that are wanting to diversify and have matured in their crypto journey, or even just as investors, like I started with stocks and it wasn't enough dopamine for me, unfortunately. So I found myself here, but I realized that, you know, here you need to make some investment choices that you can wake up and still find in the morning. And I can't say that happens all the time. So yeah, really, really good to hear. Everything is like, if there was like a AMA audit form, shall we say, there's just been tick, 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 tick. So thank you very much for confirming all of that. And you know it's a good project because usually community questions start like 20 minutes ago, and I've still got loads of questions for you, but I'll be in your inboxes or in the main chat because otherwise the community get left out. So apologies, community. You guys are way more important than the extra questions I've got about building houses for myself. So I'm going to go to a question. Are you guys okay to answer a few questions from the community?
Yeah, please ask away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Sorry, community. If you do get a chance, there's some great questions that have been asked. Unfortunately, I'm not able to pick all of them, but I can see who has been reading the website and the white paper. Clean, nice website as well, guys, by the way, because again, it's really important. I mean, I get scared to click on links these days, and you're like, what's going to be on the other side of that? But yeah, I really like the website, and I like that you've the way that you put the kind of problem and the solution there, because I think sometimes people just kind of need it explained in a way that is easily digestible, and it's pretty clear if someone's just trying to get the overall sentiment of the project. So yeah, just wanted to feed that back to you as well.
Thank you.
So I've got, no problem. So I've got a question from PCI. And it says, based on the white paper, which is really informative in my opinion, special points for reading the white paper, well done. My question is regarding the rewards on USDT. We are now at the edge of the bear market, I want to believe. So I'm aware that the rewards are going to be in USDT. So can the rewards be changed from USDT to another one, whether it is ETH, BNB, or any other, since it could be beneficial in case the market conditions change and investors would like it so they could grow their portfolio?
Yeah, good question. And thank you for reading the white paper. It's nice to know that the listeners are sort of doing their research as well. The reason why we chose USDT, and obviously this was in great discussion, was because in my opinion, it's one of the safest stable coins out there. I've done a lot of digging, especially after the FTX and the Luna crash. I've done a lot of research into stable coins. And obviously stable coins are pegged to the price of the US dollar by their reserves. And if they've got a lot of reserves in, like Luna did, they held a lot of reserves in Luna. Obviously, the price of Luna came down. And then their stable coin got depegged and crashed. USDT Tether, I've looked into their reserves, and their reserves are predominantly fiat currency. So they're very cash rich. So for them to depeg, the whole of the American economy would have to crash. So we basically want to keep our investors safe. Obviously, it would be great if we could reward you in Bitcoin or Ethereum, but that's too volatile in our opinion. We want to give you a token which we know is one-to-one and isn't going to fluctuate. And then obviously you can, as soon every once a month, we're using the Chainlink automation, so it's going to be released at the same time every month. It's going to go straight into your wallet for you. And then you can do with it as you please. You can either consolidate that back into Bricken and yield more rewards, or you can go and buy another cryptocurrency with it. It's really up to you.
Thank you so much. I think we just experienced what it's like to be part of a DAO. You've got community suggestions, and you will be able to community be part of decision making in the project as well. Because I think, I mean, not at this literally, but I think that's the main thing. It's like people want to be involved in the project, and that's what makes people stay as well. Because the price of stocks, the price of property, the price of crypto fluctuates, and often you want to be able to, or you want to have a reason to stick around. And I think that's what a DAO helps as well, because they now feel, well, the investors now feel that they are part of the project. You wouldn't just walk out on your own project, so you wouldn't walk out on your investment like this. So thank you so much for that question. That was very good. I'm checking out the people that are reading the white paper or have been on the website, and we haven't divulged too much into the NFTs. So it means that Mason Ono has been reading away as well. And I see you in the main chat as well. Good points for that. Also, I am watching you guys to see who is there. And I also appreciate all the good feedback as well. This is amazing. And shout out again to Midnight for keeping me employed during this inflation time, or whatever's happening in the political situation. So I have seen many NFT projects that promised so many utilities for the NFTs. But as soon as all the NFTs are minted, the team neglected the NFTs and become excuse my French, trash. How do you plan to make these NFTs relevant for a long time? Good questions. And another DAO comment, TikTok videos and YouTubes do well in marketing. Impulse approach. Sorry, I'm assuming this is basically, are you intending on approaching any influencer here, and what marketing your team is focused on? Okay, so I'll just break that up. NFTs and sort of influencers, partnerships and marketing. If you could just expand on both of those, please.
Yeah, obviously, that's our intention with the DAO, sort of have the community base, and that's where you're really going to have control over the project as well. You're going to be able to decide on the direction of the company. If you're an NFT holder, you'll be able to create the proposals on the properties. So I never feel like an hour is really enough to get across what we're trying to achieve and what we're building, because it is quite a complex project. So if you do want to find out more, come over to our Telegram, come over to our community, ask us some questions, watch the videos, get over to our YouTube to find out more on the project. In terms of the NFTs, we have two types of releases. So we have the Goldmine NFT, which basically the first 250 people to invest in our ICO platform $1,000 or more will get a free Goldmine NFT. This Goldmine NFT will later on have a full release where we'll be releasing about 2,000. They will be retailing about $2,000. This Goldmine NFT will give you full governance over the entire portfolio. So for the whole life of the project, you'll be able to create proposals on every single property that we ever buy and every one we ever build. At the same time, with these NFTs, you can also stake the NFTs, and we're going to have a property management company. So if you stake the NFTs, you'll be able to generate a yield, 50% of the profits from the property management company. So we're not just going to manage our own properties, we're also going to reach out to private landlords and build up a portfolio of properties that we are managing. And then 50% of the profits from that will be distributed out to the people who have staked the NFTs. The second NFT release is individual properties. So for every development we create or every property we purchase, there'll be a single release of an NFT for that property. So for example, if you fall in love with the development, or you just want to have a say in what happens to that development, you can purchase one of these NFTs and you'll be able to create a proposal on that property. One of the technologies we're actually looking into is Chainlink again. Chainlink have a dynamic NFT, which is, if you follow their channels, you might have seen. So basically the NFT's attributes can change. So basically we'll purchase the property or build the property, and the NFT will tell you all the attributes, the price, the revenue, the cost, the management fee. And then when we renovate it, for example, the dynamic NFT will then change, and it will tell you the new value and the new revenue and the new property management cost. So each individual NFT release will hold its own value in comparison to the house, because you'll be generating 50% of the revenue of the 50% of the profits from the property management company for that individual property if you've staked that token, that non-fungible token. And in terms of influencers marketing, we have started a big marketing push in 2023 at the beginning of January. We've done a lot of AMAs. We've had a few press releases. We've got a bounty hunt going on. We've got YouTubers creating videos for us. We've got TikTokers. We're doing a Twitter space in a couple of days. So there is a lot of things going on behind the scenes in terms of marketing.
Amazing. I think you definitely justified what the use of having NFTs in the project is. I think, yeah, sometimes you do see, especially along the Binance Smart Chain, some of the NFTs kind of just become useless. So again, much thought has gone into why an NFT would be valuable, and also having a DAO. It means that the community can offer suggestions, be involved, just be part of the project. So thank you very much for addressing that. So I'm going to, well, I was going to pick one of the questions from Voice, but I guess I've just sent a message. I'm going to count down from 3 to see if anyone from Voice wanted to put their hand up. I do apologize. I've actually just missed 2 people. So if you are there, oh, there you are. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Rayhan. I'm just unmuting you now. Hey, Rayhan, are you there? Oh dear. Okay. Right. Rayhan, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to come back. Otherwise, we'll have to go to the next question. Yes, I can hear you. What's your question?
Okay, my question is, in your website that I have seen that you have related about the property. So my question is, do you have any plans to like allow the NFT holders to take their own decision for the real estate, like giving their property on rent to somebody, or if they wanna do business on the business on this, so they can do themselves in future?
So just to be clear, you were asking if the NFT holders will have any say in what actually happens with the property. Is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I think we've actually covered that part, but Tom, I don't know if there was anything that you wanted to add about exactly what kind of areas, I guess, you would be looking to the community or the DAO investors to be involved in. I mean, where's the line?
Yeah, so the NFT holders actually they're allowed to create any proposals that they like for the properties that we purchase. We'll basically help them make an informed decision. So we'll provide all of the figures in terms of the profit, the expenditure, how much it costs, how much it will bring in if we rent it out, so on and so forth. And then the NFT holders will create the proposals based off of that, on whatever direction they want it to move in, and then the token holders will be able to vote on the proposals, and then whatever proposal generates the most votes will win. So majority rules.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rayhan, for. I'm so sorry, we wouldn't be able to take another question. Did you want to send it to me in a message, and maybe we could put it in the group?
Or please come over to our community and ask us a question there. I'll be active all evening, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you come over to our Telegram.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You guys are readily available for the community. And yeah, I think I could ask you questions for another 2 hours, because there is so much, and I'm genuinely excited for you. I mean, of course, I like to give positive feedback to all projects, just because it's nice to be nice. But I think after losing the amount of money that I have in the time, and how I've personally matured, and how many other people have been through a similar experience, I think it's very important that projects like yourself that have taken the time and the seriousness of making sure that everything, all your I's are dotted. I don't what's the saying? I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. It doesn't sound right, but you get the drift. And that's so important, because FTX happened, and then Luna happened, and then everyone's asking, should we hold on to our Binance? And that's the big already established projects doing that. There's been so much fear. And I've actually seen the fear and greed scale, and it looks like it's tipping over to the right side. So things are great, and I think this is a perfect time for you to come into the space, just as we are, as crypto is becoming spoken about more. A lot of my friends are WhatsApping me to ask what's a Coinbase and how do they get involved. So I can send some of them over to your site. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for coming and talking with us and sharing something such a serious, amazing project. And thank you, Midnight, for allowing me to speak on your behalf once again, and the community for showing what amazing DAO members that you have potential of being. But lastly, I just want to say, you better go and head over and show support. And if you have been listening to this AMA, please do go and join the guys over there, because I'm sure you got plenty of questions that we haven't covered so far. And guys, any final thoughts from you?
Fifi, could I just say something, please? Just to touch on what you were saying before, the way you say that you've lost money, and you know people who have lost money. I would count myself as a crypto enthusiast. I'm certainly no expert, do not claim to be. That is why, as I say, Tom is here. I need Tom. He's the expert in that field, and I've heard a lot of stories about people losing money within crypto. But one thing that I've always done and found to be, or what has worked for my business model over the years, and which have created one business model, then obviously off that we joint ventured into other models as well, and ran those alongside our main model. So we had a kind of umbrella which we all run other companies off, which are all doing fine. But it shocks me that nobody wants to get rich slowly. Nobody. Everyone wants to wake up and they look at the phone, and with Bricken, we aim to compound. And it's the only way I've ever found to work is to build and to compound. And that's why we have a low entry level. It's not about having to have thousands of pounds to think, I need thousands to make thousands. It's not about that. Every paycheck, wage check, if you think I can spare the entry level every month and you come along and you compound with us, we help you do that. We're the only company out there that will. And just to reiterate that, because I don't think many people listen to actually what I just said there, nobody likes to get rich or wants to get rich slowly. It's the only way.
You're so
Only
right.
way.
And I think, I mean, I won't go too much into it, not because I don't want to, but I mean, just what I've noticed, because my thing's psychology, there's a lot of people that are dopamine chasers here, lots of people with ADHD, lots of people who, you know, are self-employed, or, you know, this space often has people who are get excitable, and I'm one of them, so I'm talking from experience. But I almost feel that getting stung and, you know, taking such a loss is what is giving me what's making me so enthusiastic about what you're doing. But I almost had to experience what I did before to be so drawn to you. And I know how many people are in this position right now, which is why it's so important that we have projects like your own. And that's why diversification is so important, because this is literally a stream of income, and it's passive, but it's there, and it will be there the next day, and that's what we need. But yeah, I think if I'm frank, I think there's a lot of people here that gain some level of dopamine, as I said, from this space. And I think if anyone's listening, especially my fellow ADHDers, that the important things are having these projects, especially with yield on the side, even if you are kind of having fun over there with 10% of your portfolio. So we appreciate you, and we need you guys to help us diversify our portfolios and to do the work on our behalf while we go and ape 10% of it into oblivion, because that's what helps. But yeah, no one does want to get rich slowly, but that's the only way. But I thought I'd give you an honest insight into what happens, because I think it's kind of like some of the parts of this space is like those William Hill, Paddy Power slot machines, just different colors and different fonts, to be honest with you. And I think that's what the issue is. So we need exposure to people like yourselves, and we need to meet with investors that come from property and other sides of investment, and that you are merging the worlds. So I think that's what's so important about your team. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Anyone want any seminars or discussion about how not to lose money, please DM me and I'll talk to you about what not to ape in. But yeah, this has been amazing, and I'll definitely say we need projects like yourself.
Yeah, thank you for your kind words and your time, Fifi. And obviously you were touching a bit on being safe with your investment strategy, but also be careful of scammers as well. There's a lot of scammers in the crypto space, so just remember that none of us, the Bricken team, will message you first. And if we do come over to the Telegram just to verify.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you on Midnight. And I'll see you over there with my. I'll be ready to be part of the DAO. I've got some suggestions.
Oh, that'd be great.
I don't know if we can get involved with wallpaper and so on, but I'll see what you have to offer over there. But all jokes aside, I wish you the best of luck regardless.
Thank you.
If you ever need a backwards AMA and somebody to interview you on your channel, I'll happily do it for you guys, because I'm happy to speak with you guys about this. All right then, guys, I'll speak to you later on, and good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in today. And do go ahead and go to the team and ask questions if you do have any.
Thank you, Fifi.
Thank you, Fifi. Cheers.
Thank you, everyone, for your time this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.